Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. It is day 2 of the November side event, these legendary shadow-based raids, and I had so much fun with the new route mechanic yesterday that I thought I'd keep the train rolling. So we'll hop into legendary difficulty here on day 2 with a vision boss, and we'll see what this is all about. Once again, I did kind of peek ahead at the enemies that we're going to be facing here, so it seems like a good day for Corvus Glaive. Maybe we'll bring in Medusa for the vision boss. We're going to see if she can turn off the route mechanic, similar to the way that Archangel did yesterday. Speaking of Archangel, we'll probably bring in him as well. Maybe Nick Fury for some cool bleeds. And we can just get around route completely by not allowing them to get a special attack or whatever. Okay, so I think the route mechanic is a little different today. Let's just take a look here. Okay. So once again, health pool is very low, under 100k. PI very low. So it's the same node combo party. And then we've got a node called Cold Feet. The attacker becomes rooted during the defender's heavy attacks. Rooted champions cannot move but can still attack, block, and dodge. So similar to this, this looks maybe a little bit easier than the special attacks one. If you have to run into a situation where you're going to be baiting a lot of heavy attacks, this could definitely work against you. But I don't think it'll be that bad. So let's get our first charge here with Corvus, and we'll see how this plays out. For the most part, champions have much fewer hit events or contact points. Oh, look at that. See, when the parry doesn't work and they immediately go into heavy, that's what the problem is going to be. That's what happened right there. My parry failed, which has been a problem for the last 3 months, I want to say. Parries have been failing all over the place. Or the window has shrunk, whatever you want to call it. So if they immediately go from a failed parry into a heavy attack, you have to really be aware of that. Also going to be really tough for like a champion like Mysterio, who likes to throw heavies just constantly out of nowhere. Yeah, this node in particular will definitely make him even more of an annoying fight than he is already, right? So I guess for this one, Ghost would be a good counter to this, because you're not really going to trigger many heavies from the opponent with Ghost. Quake in the corner could be hit or miss. I've seen fights with Quake where the opponent will launch a heavy right in the corner, so that could be problematic for sure. So yeah, all right, let's see if we can get Archangel to shut off this node as well. Somebody told me on, or somebody commented on the last video that Magneto will shut off the root nodes for metal champions. So that's a really good shout out. I can't remember the name of the person who said that, but thank you in advance if you are watching this. All right, I'm tempted. Let's bait out a heavy here. Let's just see what happens. Okay, yeah. So Archangel successfully shuts off this node as well with enough neurotoxins. That's really good to know. There we go. Not too bad. And then we'll save. We'll go with Medusa on the Vision boss again first to see if she shuts off the node for robots. So I really want to play around with testing different kinds of ability accuracy reduction. I said earlier that Vision would probably be helpful in this chapter, but I think I spoke incorrectly because we want to prevent heavy attacks, not special attacks. So Vision would have been much more useful on the first day. So, okay, that was okay. So I did get out of the heavy there, which was nice. It seems like in most cases you'll probably be dexing out of the heavy as normal. I think I mentioned earlier, again, most heavies have far fewer hit events than like a special attack, so theoretically it should be easier. I think for some of these older champions, like the older female champions who have like the double roundhouse spin kick thing, I think those can be problematic because they're just going to be Sorry about that. Somebody came downstairs and needed me. I forget what I was saying a minute ago, but we'll just keep going in. Oh, what was I saying about the roundhouse kicks? Yeah. Those could be problematic for like the older female champions. So, all right, we got a Thor here. I'm curious to see what other kind of nodes they're going to do. If they're going to have like a different root mechanic every day, it's going to be interesting to see what else they come up with. Maybe like every time you fill a bar of power, you're rooted for a little bit. They could definitely come up with some interesting and potentially very difficult ways to use this mechanic. So I know I said yesterday that I was a big fan of how that node worked. This one is more or less the same, maybe a little bit easier, because most of the time I play to avoid heavy attacks anyways, unless I have to bait them out because of like stun immunity or debuff immunity or what have you. So I'd say that today's node probably a little bit easier than the other one. Again, unless you miss a parry, and then you're in trouble. All right, let's get the tech charge for Corvus here. I don't think we'll need it, but it's good to have it just in case. Older champions like Iron Man and like Ultron, probably really easy with this specific rooted node because their heavies have one single hit, and it's like a long-reaching uppercut. And for that matter, they changed it recently to make it a bit slower too. So no problem there. Again, it seems like in most of these fights, if you're playing well, you can avoid heavies completely. So I think we've seen, what, 1 or 2 fights where they've thrown a heavy, other than the one where I intentionally baited it out to test Archangel. And I'm sure, undoubtedly, this new mechanic will lead to champions that are immune to it as well. I'm sure we can expect that in the next, 5 or 6 months. Once the mechanic has kind of made its way into content on a regular basis, I think we can expect to start seeing the first champ who's immune to it. That's usually how stuff like this works. It's how it worked with auto block, it's how it worked with miss, etc., etc. Reverse control, same deal. Every mechanic will eventually have a counter to it. All right, we'll go in with Corvus here. Again, there's a really small chance that Black Widow will evade here. It seems unlikely that we will be able to knock her down without killing her, but worth a shot. Oh, nice. Nice. Wow. Okay, so looks like you can avoid the spin kick with 2 evades, which is interesting. I never knew that. I thought that your second dex would be caught by the last hit of that. So, interesting. Nice. So there we go. We got an evade right into a heavy, and I couldn't dex out because of the rooted node. So, yeah, evade champs. Yeah, that's not a fun time. Evade right into a heavy. I wonder if the AI profiles have been changed to reflect this new mechanic. Like, is the AI going to start behaving differently in order to properly take advantage of when you can't move? That'll be definitely something to kind of keep an eye on, again, as this mechanic makes its way into other areas of the game. Okay, well, we got two fights left, and then Vision. Keep going with Archangel here. I like the idea of being able to just shut the node off completely, just in case. A little bit riskier maybe with Archangel though, because if your parry fails with him, you can see, I'm not getting my parries off, and Black Panther is cooperating with follow-up light attacks, but if he chooses to throw a heavy, then it could be game over. Oh, finally got a neuro there. Oh no! Wow, lost 2 champs? I don't know what happened there. Another parry fail, whatever. Not going to stress over losing a champion in easy content like this. Not even going to worry about reviving. It'll be fine. Those bleeds were... Oh, you know what? It was combo party. That's why I'm dying so quickly. Ugh. See, every time... every time a parry fails, you are in serious danger of dying. So, you know, we've talked on my streams a bit about how I really feel like they have intentionally decreased the parry window over the last couple years. Look at that, double heavy. That's another potential problem. Like if they connect on a heavy but you can't move, it's not going to knock you back. They can immediately follow up with a second heavy. And they could theoretically just sit there and spam heavies and keep you locked in place. So that's a huge problem, potentially. Something to keep an eye on. It's interesting how this mechanic is going to affect so many other behaviors in the game. I said earlier that I think this one is a lot easier. I think maybe that was a premature declaration. That double heavy while I was locked in place was absolutely not cool. And I'm not sure there's anything I could have done other than sit there and try and spam a special attack maybe. If I had one. Wasn't there something in this node that specifically calls out special attacks? Let's take a look. When we get up to vision here. Let's see here. Activating a special attack removes root and prevents it from applying. So if you are baiting out a heavy attack and throw a special, you can immediately remove the root. But the timing on that's probably going to be pretty low. But activating a special attack can probably prevent that type of like being locked in place with multiple heavies. So, and you have to have the wherewithal to know to do that though. So, all right, let's get armor shattered up here, and then we'll try and bait out a heavy from vision. Okay, so Medusa shuts down root node for robots, which is great. That's very good to know. Very good to know, yes. Okay, cool. So again, similar to yesterday, the type of like general ability accuracy reduction, rather than specifically offensive or defensive, is what's going to get you around some of these nodes for the time being until we find immunity champs are being introduced. So Medusa's good, Magneto's good, Archangel's good. Keep testing them as the days progress. So that's going to do it for this one. Overall, this one is fine. It's about the same level of difficulty I would say as day one. There are definitely more ways that you can kind of get caught off guard. Parry fails, being heavied multiple times in place. Could be a bit problematic maybe, but we'll see how it goes later on. So that's going to do it for right now. So guys, please hit that like button if you'd be so kind, and sub for some more content. I'll probably be doing these the rest of the week as well. And as always, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next time.